Profile share via email report story. Yes, I've been listening to the Chainsmokers' third POV. Katsuki has been non-stop picking on Izuku and Ochako is tired of standing by, not being able to help Izuku. Every time Kirishima and Kaminari saw Bakugo picking on Izuku, they would try to pry Bakugo away from Midoriya. Izuku and Ochako were walking home from school. Surprisingly, nobody has noticed that the two were dating. The walk home from school was one of the most calmest parts of his day. If not, the calmest. Just him and Ochako, alone, walking down a calm, peaceful, and empty road, just calms him. Makes him at peace. So, Bakugo seems to be really picking on you, Izuku. Are you ever going to do something about it? Ochako questions. I don't think so. He'll one day just get bored from picking on me because I'm gonna stop reacting to it. Nothing he does phases me. Izuku explained. It went silent for a while. The only sound being their feet hitting the concrete below them. That won't work. The more it doesn't phase you, the worse it's going to get. You not doing anything is just going to encourage him to get more violent, so you will react. Ochako tried to reason with Izuku. Izuku sighed. He knew she was right. Okay, then what do you want me to do? Izuku asked, looking at Ochako. Ochako questioningly looked at Izuku. That's up to you, she said. Midoriya looked back at her. But you're the one who asked, so you must want me to do something about it. Izuku told her. Well then, if it's up to me then I'll fight him off. Ochako confidentially said, pumping her fist into the air. Izuku's eyes softened, a soft smile making its way to his face. He chuckled softly. I hope this doesn't offend you, but, you know he'll just beat you up. You're underestimating him. Izuku said, looking at Ochako with loving eyes. Uraraka lowered her fist back to her side. Yeah, well, it's worth a try, Ochako said, not giving up on trying to beat up Bakugo. Izuku started to get worried, realizing that she was seriously thinking about beating up Bakugo. No, Ochako, I don't want him to hurt you, Izuku said. Ochako looked at Izuku. Then, what can we do to get him to stop? Ochako asked. Izuku shrugged and looked at the empty street in front of them. Ochako then got an idea. How about we prank him? Ochako said, excited at the sound of pranking him. Izuku looked at Uraraka. And how's that going to make him stop? Izuku asked, raising a brow. He'll stop because he doesn't want to get pranked anymore. You're finally fighting back, Ochako confidentially explained. Izuku stayed quiet, not sure about how to reply to this. Okay, Izuku quietly agreed. They walked in comfortable silence for a little bit until they were home. You're amazing, you know that, Izuku said before parting ways into his house. Ochako blushed. You're better, she replied before beelining it into her home. See ya, Izuku, she yelled as she went inside. He did a small wave before walking into his own home. The next day Izuku walks alone to school again, thinking of a prank to pull on Bakugo. Honestly, he was scared shitless to go through with the prank. That is, until he notices the mud on the ground. Hey, Ochako, Izuku quietly walks over to said girl's desk. Hey Izuku, Ochako happily greeted back. Okay, I've thought out a prank to pull on Kachan. It's probably not a good one, but it's still a prank. Sorta. Izuku nervously scratched the back of his head. Ochako stared at him for a little bit. Explain, she demanded. Izuku took out a plastic bag full of mud. We can put this in his shoe during gym. If he notices it, then he can take the long time of getting it all out. If he doesn't, then he's gonna walk around in a muddy shoe all day. Izuku explained. Ochako nodded. Okay, well, let's do it. I got nothing to recommend, Uraraka said, shrugging. Promoted stories. You'll also like. My Hero Academia. Day before the storm Izuo. 91,512. There is a storm coming, and the future of the entire hero society lays in the balance. After returning to Ua, Izuku and Ochako struggled to find their way back to One N. My boyfriend Toki, Todoroki X Fem, Deku, 102K 1.8K. Uncompleted never will be God I hate this. Izuku and Todoroki have always been friends, from the time they were youngins to when Bakugo boldly confessed to Izuku aft. The Seeing Hero version 1. 4.6K65. Izuku gets to have a normal childhood and even gets to be really close friends Bakugo. His dad is also present in his life and he's really cool. Once he starts high school. New Love, Izutoga, 65.6K 932. Read this description you will need it promise me this is my first fanfic. Warning, there is mature content in here. This story is featuring Armic Izuku getting C. Check mark one-sided, 133K 5.1K. This is a Baku Deku fanfic. Izuku's dream of being a hero changes after he got diagnosed to be quirkless. That dream had become a distant a fantasy but he soon twisted. My Yellow 18 plus. 39.2K 661. Izuku Midoriya, a soldier in the military, finally goes home after 13 years of staying as an active duty. Blank, an Izuku x Ochako romance story, living in AQ. I Can't Lose You. 23.8K 631. Warning spoiler warning. Mentions of the events leading up to, including and following the internship arc warning Katsuki has always been bad at expressing his feelings but when Izuku proudly smiles. During gym, Izuku and Ochako waited, in separate changing rooms of course, for all of their classmates to get done changing. Izuku secretly watched closely as Kachan puts in his locker code, writing down the combination in his notebook. Once everyone, except Izuku and Ochako, was done changing, Izuku knocked on the girls' locker room, signaling that everyone in the boys' locker room were gone. Ochako knocked back, signaling that he girls were gone. Quietly, Ochako left the girls' locker room to watch over the boys' locker room so Izuku can do the risky prank. Izuku puts in the pin, getting it wrong a couple of times. Once the locker was open, Izuku took Bakugo's normal everyday shoes, took the mud out of his bag, and stuffed it inside the shoe. Once he was done, he swiftly left the locker room and Izuku and Ochako pretended as if nothing happened. Izuku felt good. He finally got revenge on Bakugo and he was proud. It's just, good things sadly don't last forever. Izuku was up against a wall, getting the shit beaten out of him by Bakugo. You did this, didn't you? Bakugo shouted at the top of his lungs, pointing to the shoe full of mud. There was a possibility that Bakugo's sock was wet and muddy, making him uncomfortable in his current socks and shoes. It was crushed, due to Bakugo not looking into his shoe while putting it on after gym. Answer me, Bakubaku shouted, socking Izu in the face. Why yes I did that. Izuku said, almost in tears because of the pain. Izuku got a kick straight to the gut. You think you're better than me. You think that you can just walk around and constantly make a fool out of me, don't you? Well, if what I'm doing to you isn't enough, hey then I'll just make your life a whole lot worse. Bakugo spoke with venom. You just wait. And with that Bakugo walked away, leaving Izuku on the floor, his back against the wall, tears streaming down his face. The pain was unbearable. He doesn't know how much more he can take. The good feeling was back. No matter how much Bakugo takes from Izuku, he could never take the best thing in Izuku's life. And that thing is love. He could never take the amazing feeling, the warmth, and Ochako overall, away from Izuku. No matter how hard he tries, he'll probably just end up going to jail for sexual harassment. Izuku and Ochako are actually happy that no one can tell that they are dating. They actually plan to keep their relationship a secret. They don't want to be constantly teased and questioned about it. They were already teased and questioned enough with their classmates knowing about the crush on each other. Well, it was just a quick kiss, but the wrong person walked in at the wrong time. Mina walks into the classroom, looking for Uraraka. Hey, Ochako, you and he. What Mina saw, is Ochako, with her hands in Izuku's hair and Izuku, his hands on Uraraka's waist. Their lips connected to one another's. Hearing Mina from the doorway, they quickly rip apart from each other. Blushing madly, they straightened their backs, begging Mina to not tell anyone. Not that the begging would change anything. Oh my gooferball, I'm telling everyone, Mina exclaims, a huge grin making its way to her face. Wait, Mina, no. Ochako yelled, but it was too late. Mina was out the door, dashing straight to the cafeteria. Ochako gave Izuku a quick peck on the cheek before sprinting straight after Mina, leaving Izuku, whose cheeks were redder than a tomato, to wonder WTF just happened. That's how everyone found out about Izuku and Ochako's secret relationship. And, like they predicted about what would happen if the class find out about their relationship, they got several of questions and plenty of teasing. How did you guys start dating? When did you guys get together? Why did you guys decide to kiss in the classroom if you wanted to keep it a secret? The questions went on, never ending. Soon, Uraraka and Midoriya got tired of all the questions and just left. They walked around and talked until it was time to go to class again, deciding to just skip lunch. When he's with Ochako, Izuku's just able to just forget about everything. His problems disappear into the black hole of nothingness. So, are you up for another prank on Bakugo? Ochako asks, smirking at Izuku. Izuku smiles, but it fades as he remembers what happened once Bakugo found out that it was them, or just him, who pranked him. Brr, I don't know, Ochako, Izuku says in a small voice. Oh, come on, don't tell me you're scared, Ochako says, only half joking. Izuku perks up and looks at Ochako. I'm not scared, Izuku says, trying to impress Ochako. Then prove it, Tilda, Ochako says, grinning. I'll prank him hard, Izuku says, raising a fist. Yeah, that's the spirit, Ochako says, also raising a fist. This was probably the stupidest thing they could have came up with doing. Izuku should have learned from last time. Not only did Bakugo find out that it was them again. What do you guys think you're doing? A voice said from across the room, making Ochako and Izuku freeze from coloring Bakugo's desk. Get over here this instant. You both are going to the principal's. Izuku's and Ochako's blood ran cold. Going to the principal's meant phone calls. And phone calls mean less of a good relationship with his girlfriend's parents. Izuku knew this the second he agreed with doing this. He knew that his and her parents' relationship were on the line with going through with this. But he would gladly push his luck for her. Dot 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 dot. An explanation to those who saw that I already published this, I changed some. Hey, hi-oh there, hope you liked this chap. I hope this chapter doesn't seem rushed. Bye yo. Weird Kid, where stories live. Discover